Everybody thinks Roman Reigns is trying to take CM Punk's title at WrestleMania 42, but I think Roman is after something way meaner than a championship. I think Roman Reigns is trying to expose the one truth CM Punk cannot hide from anymore. That this comeback was never just about winning. It was about proving he still matters before time catches him. And that is exactly why this feud suddenly feels so nasty. Because when WWE made it official, World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk versus 2026 Royal Rumble winner Roman Reigns, most people saw a dream match, two huge stars. But Roman has not been treating this like a normal WrestleMania build. He has been talking to Punk like a man who already solved the puzzle, not like Punk is dangerous, like Punk is transparent. That is the part people keep brushing past. Roman is not cutting simple heel insults here. He is not just calling Punk old, he is dragging the whole feud away from titles and accolades and best in the world speeches and forcing it into one ugly conversation. Relevance. That's the word hanging over this whole thing. Because CM Punk can still wrestle. CM Punk can still talk. CM Punk can still control a crowd better than half the roster just by changing his tone and looking mildly offended for 6 seconds. But Roman is not arguing that Punk is finished. He is arguing something worse. He is arguing that Punk is terrified of being seen as finished. Here's the thing. If Roman wanted to make this feud simple, he would just talk about the title. Instead, Roman keeps making this personal in a way that feels surgical. He is basically looking at Punk and saying, "You came back because you needed this. You needed the noise. You needed the spotlight. You needed everybody to say your name again like it still shakes the building the way it used to." And Punk hates that angle because deep down, there is just enough truth in it to make him furious. Roman already feels like a guy whose place in WWE history has been stamped, laminated, framed, and hung on the wall. Roman does not feel like a man begging for validation right now. CM Punk does, not in the way he would ever admit out loud, but the energy is there. Because Punk's whole comeback has had this second layer under it from day one. Under the promos, under the confidence, under the title reign, there has always been this pressure humming in the background. Prove you still belong here. Prove you are still that guy. Prove your name still means main event and not just memory. And Roman knows it. That is why the March 16th segment mattered more than people think. A lot of fans now, Roman gets to say, "Look at you. I didn't have to beat you up. I didn't have to out-wrestle you. I just had to remind you what this really is." And the reason it hits is because it turns Punk's biggest strength into a weakness. That edge is what made him special in the first place. But random. They are targeted. He is not saying Punk is old because it sounds mean. He cannot yell "best in the world" loud enough to stop time. This is the one opponent CM Punk cannot humiliate on the microphone. And Roman knows it. That is why I think the title of this feud is not "Who leaves as champion?" It's what happens when Roman forces Punk to admit what this run is really about. Because I do not think Roman's goal is just to beat CM Punk. I think Roman wants to drag out the one truth Punk has been trying to keep buried under this comeback story. That Punk is not just fighting Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 42. He is fighting the fear that this might be the last version of CM Punk that truly matters at the top. And that's even better when you remember the symbolism of WrestleMania itself. WrestleMania is where the fake confidence gets stress tested. That is why Roman's expose angle fits WrestleMania perfectly. Because on that stage, Punk cannot hide behind nostalgia. He cannot hide behind the romance of the comeback. He cannot hide behind the fantasy that this is just another chapter in the legend. At WrestleMania, the question becomes very simple and very ugly. When Roman keeps pressing on that insecurity, can Punk stay in control? Because if he can't, Roman does not just beat him. Roman unmasks him. And honestly, that might be the better story. Picture the match. Punk starts sharp. Crowd is hot. Maybe he tells him to hit harder. Maybe he keeps forcing Punk to feel like every move has to prove a point. And that is where the danger starts. Because the second Punk stops wrestling to win and starts wrestling to silence Roman, the expose is Roman forcing Punk to become exactly what Roman said he was. A legend so obsessed with proving he still has it that he starts making mistakes no fully secure champion would make. That's the whole game. And it's why this feud has so much debate fuel right now. Because if Roman drags that insecurity into the open, if he gets Punk to act like a man defending his legacy instead of a man commanding the moment, then Roman has already proven his point. So, no, I do not think Roman Reigns is walking into WrestleMania 42 just trying to win a title. I think he is walking in to do something nastier. I think he wants to expose that CM Punk's biggest enemy is not Roman Reigns. It is the clock. It is the pressure. So now, the real question is not whether Roman can beat CM Punk at WrestleMania 42. The real question is, when Roman looks him in the face and forces him to confront the one truth he cannot talk his way around. Will CM Punk still look like the champion, or will he look exactly like what Roman has been accusing him of this whole time? A man fighting time and losing.